Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It is a good morning. Babuzako. This is the Unpopular Chat, where unpopular opinions spark real conversations. As usual, we bring you people, the experts, today we have Prem, Genda Kwawe and Julia, and then Tujakta and Ikira. Prem, you welcome to the show. It is the Unpopular Chat.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. My name is Christina Prem Wimana. I am a team leader at Aplex and Associates. I'm an accountant and auditor. Nice meeting you once again.
Nice to meet you. I like to have women on the panel. Prim, I want us to talk about strategic tax. Strategic tax became more popular as a tax system grew more complex. Today it is very important you go through strategic tax for your business to be successful. First of all, I want someone that is watching the Unpopular Chat to understand what is strategic tax compliance, like defining strategic tax najibera differentiating from other taxes.
Strategic compliance is about tax planning.
Yeah.
Strategic compliance is about not simply filing returns or filing your taxes, but planning on how well to file, utilizing all the resources that can help you to take advantage of the law. Because per current, most entrepreneurs or SMEs, even corporations, assume that tax is a cost. But tax is not simply a cost. Tax is a cost if you let it be. But if you choose to see it as a competitive advantage, in that light, you'll be able to plan for it as you plan for other things like budgeting, like other resources in your company. If you plan for tax too, you will not have any problem with tax. So strategic compliance is about working, knowing behind your mind that there is tax you need to pay, but again, pay exactly what you need to pay. Not simply file and pay for the sake of filing and paying, but strategically noticing that within my industry, I can utilize these deductions, I can utilize these tax holidays, and then going for exactly what you need to have.
How is it different from just filing tax compliances, other tax compliances?
Let me put it like this. You have a business, yes?
Yeah.
If you simply filed, you don't know your deadlines, you don't know what expenses can help you reduce your taxes. Can you be the same as that person who knows there are deductions, that person who knows that within my industry I can take care of these tax holiday? You cannot be the same. You will spend more and this person will spend less. Why? This person will be paying exactly what they need to pay, but you may be double taxed, triple taxed without even your knowledge. That is how people fail to see even profits in their businesses.
Like why is it important for companies or individuals to think about tax compliance in a strategic way?
Because we need to thrive. If you're in business and you're there to simply survive, that means the economy is going to leave you behind. We are in business to thrive, to make it, to have businesses that are going to outlive us, to build a legacy and leave it for our children, for their children. So we are in business to thrive, and that is why we need strategic compliance. Yes.
Okay. How can a business plan ahead to pay tax compliance?
A business, this is no longer something actually entrepreneurs can just sit down and talk about. This is a chat you can have in a boardroom as you plan for how best you market yourself outside in the market. That is how you're supposed to do with that tax planning. So strategic compliance is about tax planning. Simply planning how best you can work alongside the taxman, and how best you can use their law to actually be a step or 2 steps ahead of them. Because you've noticed that most officers don't even understand the law themselves. And that is why you see that cases like entrepreneurs are winning cases. We go in court or at TAT, that is Tax Appeals Tribunal, and you find that an entrepreneur argues a case out and is able to win. So the law is all about looking at it, understanding it, and how well to use it in business. Yes.
Okay, so how can traders and taxpayers shift their mindset from just simply complying with tax laws to a strategic leveraging way and maybe to opportunities to benefit their to have benefits for their companies?
I want to first correct you. These entrepreneurs we have, this is according to the statistics and research. They don't want to comply. They don't want to hear anything about tax. I can give you a story. When I was working with URA at one time, they almost turned me down at what is that place? As you slope Equatorial, that lane down there, downtown. I happened to meet a lady, and I talked about tax. So this lady was like, "Hey, Emisolo babano." So people are not interested in knowing about tax. They are not interested in even working with a taxman. But however, there is no way to survive in business. You need to work alongside the tax people, and you need to develop that mentality that tax is there. And in all countries, by the way, everywhere, there is nowhere you will not find tax, except that our taxes have high rates, which is squeezing the everyday person. Because if you're to look at it, Uganda's GDP, these SMEs almost contribute 70% of Uganda's GDP. So if you to look at it at that light, you find that the people they are squeezing too much are the people who are giving too much taxes. And again, once you squeeze someone too much, they're going to end up getting fed up. They'll not lose anything. They'll simply close their businesses and go to the villages and start maybe doing farming. Because what should they do? You're squeezing every profit they're getting. You're not even minding about telling them the right thing, but you're minding about collecting the taxes. People have refunds. People have exemptions. People have tax holidays, but you're not even telling them. All you want is, I want my money and I want my money, and that is it. Whether you're demanding us or not, we don't give a damn. What is that? So for me, I feel like there is a weakness, or there is that rigidity with the taxman.
You just said something that one time you went to collect tax. And then no buzibu, like people wanted to strangle you. So are there any ways people with business can plan ahead to pay these taxes?
Yes. If you register, first of all, as you're starting a business, you need to plan for tax even before you reserve your name for a business. That is where strategy comes from. You start from there. Who are we putting there as a director? Most people will want all the 4 directors to pay tax. But strategy is knowing who is going to be there, who will get that allowance or salary and work, and is the same person who appears in URA. Right now we have the e-hub whereby URA is connecting URSB, it is connecting Umeme National, like all around, they're everywhere. So they can easily tap your information from everywhere. They know your mobile transactions, they know your bank transactions, they know everything about you. And now that the NIN is going to become our everyday thing, they have you like this in every corner. So an everyday person should strategize from the word go when they are starting their business.
Before
And
even
then-
the business starts to work.
Yes, that is where strategy comes from. That is where you start planning for these people on how best you're going to maintain your records. You must have a financial manual.
Yeah.
You must have just the way you bring in your employees slowly by slowly. That you're starting a business and you cannot employ many people at once. You start with those or that person. You start by working by yourself.
Yeah.
Then you start giving different departments an individual. You say, now I have made some money, let me bring in maybe a manager, let me bring in this talent
Yeah.
who is needed per that particular time. So that is also how tax is. You're supposed to design it, organize it, start by having records from the start. You're spending, you're costing. So from registration of your business, you're supposed to keep all those documentations. So strategic planning or strategic compliance starts by having maintaining your own record from the word go.
Isn't that traditional tax?
Not really, because if I register for URSP, if I reserve a name, how much do you pay? Isn't it 32,000?
Yeah.
You must have a receipt for that and keep it somewhere. That is a cost. That is an expense. Now, these are documentations you're going to need when you're filing later. Now, here the business is a baby.
Yeah.
But without this, you cannot tell URA, I spent without evidence, without proof. So all these documentations are supposed to be kept. So that takes you back that as you're starting your business, you're running this way, you're spending
Yeah.
on transport, you're spending on KCCA license, you're spending on other people, lawyers, accountants. So you need to document all that. Now tax is already starting, but people ignore all that. So strategic management begins with proper books of accounts, no matter how small. You need to have files and organize them in the right way. Yes.
So how best can business owners go through this, like internally, maybe before reaching out to consultants?
Come again?
Like, how best can business owners like go through strategic compliance tax before coming to your consultants? You said about keeping. You talked about keeping records. Just keeping records. Maybe then we come to consultants.
Even an accounting firm is not happy when somebody comes with incomplete records. It is training. It is tiring to work with somebody who doesn't have documentation.
Yeah.
But if I get a client who has documentation, by source documents, I mean invoices, receipts, maybe ledgers, all that. When I have somebody who has all that in place, that is a very easy person to defend, no matter what. If we are to go to TAT or object, a person who has full documentation or who have their source documents well prepared is a person who can easily be defendable. But a person, even you look at it in a way where somebody needs financial statements. This is one of the reasons why bankers or banks don't want to give informal people money. They never have records. They never have documentation. So now you have come to me. You need an investor to invest in your business. You need the bank to give you a loan. How will they give you a loan if you yourself don't have financial statements? So we cannot prepare financial statements without proper records. So it all goes back to proper bookkeeping. Yes. So an everyday entrepreneur must have proper records. That is where it all starts from. Well documented, well prepared, and organized.
Yeah. Okay. As much as people pay their tax, I believe most people pay. I want to assume that most people do pay their tax. How do they benefit? Like, how does it help their business to save money? Like, does it help their business to save money in any way or the other?
You see, taxes are not supposed to help you save money, but how you utilize the opportunity. Do you see that opportunity? Can you save that money? It is what you see that will get you save the money. Because entrepreneurs simply want to be chased. You want to file your returns when you're reminded. Actually, you prefer filing them after 15th.
Is it just in Uganda or everywhere?
I think in East African countries, because when you look at other countries, they take this serious.
Yeah.
People want to know where every shilling goes. But you find a Ugandan here. This person will not know that if I don't file value-added tax on time, I am going to attract a penalty of 200,000. Now, this penalty is not only now, every month. This person will not know after filing, if I don't pay on time, I am going to attract 2% of interest. This person will simply maybe file and doesn't pay, like pay to URA.
Yeah.
So this interest will grow. This is why they come to you. And these people will keep quiet. The tax man will keep quiet until you come when you need something urgently. And they will tell you, we can't give it to you. Or maybe like tax clearance.
Yeah.
Why? Because we are demanding you over 300 million. And you wonder, how did that come about?
Yeah.
And you must pay for it. You must pay it no matter what. Even your own business cannot protect you. They can easily lift that veil and they even attack your personal property. Wow. Yes. I have a case right now where one very famous person, by the way, is having the same problem, and they want, the URA is getting bailiffs. Because of the silence, the quietness. They're telling you, please, you have this assessment. You choose to keep quiet instead of going to them and understand why, how did it come about? Why are you demanding me this much? I don't have it. Let's negotiate. People don't want to do that. So everyday people, Ugandan people, have a rigid mindset. Not all, but most of them. When you talk about tax, they don't want to know. And they don't know. The moment you do not solve this problem, your business will not thrive.
Okay, does this mean that before I start a business, I should first go to a tax consultant and maybe some through the system, maybe how I'm going to pay these taxes, how I should go about them before I start the business, maybe to be on the safe side?
Every business, everyone needs a mentor, in my opinion. Personally, I have one. You need that person who will guide you in business. We do not build businesses alone. You have this business. You need to partner with people. You need to know who is that strategic person who is going to get this place, up there.
You know, the problem here,
cannot work alone.
The problem in Uganda is that like people think about other things, maybe the things they think that are bigger than the taxes. Maybe I'm going to think about trend, I'm going to think about marketing, I'm going to think about branding, and then I'll forget about these taxes. Maybe some people maybe don't even know about these taxes. Has URA done put in any efforts okulaba nti people understand these taxes? Like someone will start a business nga tamanyi nti alina n'okusasula emisolo.
I know.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you're egezezaako okuyigiriza abantu. I think mubalaba. But on Bully Thursday, the commissioner himself yetwala na tandika okusomesa abantu. Questions zonna ze babuuzizza era bifulumira mu mawulire buli lwakuna. Bibeera ku YouTube, bibeera ku platforms zonna ze balina. So nze in my opinion bagezezzaako okusensitizing abantu, naye kati abantu tebaagala kumanya, tebaagala kuwulira. N'ate mu bintu ebimu nze we bafeirinze tebabuulira bantu kituufu. Ate n'ekirala, omuntu alina rights ze. Omuntu ali obligated okumanya taxes kize mu mbanja. Mpisaamu ne wajjeewo nga tamasobola kugulawo tin. Oluusi ne ssente tazirina kusasula oli accountant. Mumuyambe, mumugulirewo tin.
You know, some people don't even know what a tin means. Like tin yegasachi.
Tin?
Like abantu abasinga tebamanyi. Like ogenda n'owulira abantu like ng'ayogera ebintu nga talina kyamanyi. Oli n'akeera yagenze n'atunda ente ze n'agamba ngenze Kampala kangende ku hamu. Nfune akaduuka ntandike business. And then after a few years agenda okulaba what taxes collecting revenue ye gwatamanyi na java.
Abantu abasinga kituufu omuntu yeebuuza oba tini kyeki. Let me explain this right now so that bakitegeere.
Yeah.
TIN is a tax identification number mu nsi muno. Si mu ggwanga lino lyokka awantu wonna. The moment woba mu business nga tolina kikweyimiridde, like a tax identification number is like your identity in business. Anybody without a tax identification number abeera mu black market. Black economy kali oba kiyite bwe kityo. Black economy, no one recognizes you. Naye ng'oli mu Uganda muno nga okola business, by all means olina osasula emisolo. Emisolo gye giyamba government okulwaninga ebintu, enguudo, amasomero, and we don't have rights to ask them, how do you do that? We don't have those
Maybe
rights.
that's the problem why people don't pay those taxes, because ngabo government maybe more East Africa, because federal government is a fezanjawulo. Then these other countries like they like budgeting and mubantu, and they tell them this is what the money did, this is what we are going to do, this is how we're going to develop this area. Maybe that's where we find a problem, or the government finds the problem with people paying taxes.
Not really, because government makes it clear. Pay tax. We don't tell you how we are going to develop the country, but we are going to do our best to start with priorities. It is even in the law. Your job, we have obligations, we have rights.
Yeah.
Your job is to pay taxes, not to ask, what did our taxes do? Because you have a government that has to lead you and to grow the economy. So tax tini omuntu alina okuba nga kale bagezezaako creating awareness, and we are also here. Personally, to even start creating awareness about taxes, I witnessed a very painful experience of a man who is even fit to be my dad. Nga bamuyisa bubi nnyo mu mbeera embi, omusajja n'abagamba nenze mbadde nsasula mwezi ennaku nali namuto nga omusajja agamba ye abadde asasula naye sente abadde aziwa accountant. Kati bwenkwata sente nti nsasula misolo nenziwa gwe banka gwe URA kati oba nti gwe accountant nenziwa gwe, by all means nsobola okukolamu ebyange. Yet URA ekuwa payment slip, buli omu alina TIN ye nga ye okusasula emisolo. Naye kati gw'ozikutte ozimpa doneesize. Later on your age egamba tusasudde emisolo, and then ogamba mbadde nsasula. Twalina proof.
That means omuntu atalina TIN number tali anywhere known in the URA.
You're not known, and people cannot do business with you. You can't have abantu oba balina omulamu asimanyi abasobola okutuusa gy'oyagala okugenda nga tolina TIN. By all means, yani agenda okukkiriza okukola business nga tolina TIN, because n'okufuna license oba n'okuregisteringa ku URA balina okuba nga olina TIN.
Yeah. That reminds me, recently I heard someone was saying TIN ye like yafuna TIN nga agula motoka. Remember, you have to change like or choose the logbook which so you need to have a TIN. So this person says Taina any business in Kampala, he's a farmer. TIN ye chokati yali agikozeseza is kukola ki kukyusa logbook ye. And then this person says after years agenda ku URA for something, asanga URA mugambe mukola ki emubanja. Okitegeera. So waliwo ebintu ebimu ebitategeerekeka that people need to understand. Probably when abantu banabitegeera, because omuntu oli akugamba nti olufuna TIN number bwoti URA egenda kutandika okuteekako emisolo. That is why you wesanga nti abantu banyiivu, when someone goes downtown like you said nti agenze bantu kusasula misolo bagenda kuteekako obusungu. Okitegeera. So nkuzayo kwekiri nti I believe people do not understand these taxes. I feel like URA has not done enough okulaba nti abantu bano ebasomesa. Nekyo ekintu ky'okubeera nti oli agulawo just TIN number and nzizeyo mu kyalo nnime sina business yonna apart from doing my farming. you said maybe like your dad ye agamba mbadde nga nziwa accountant we kati nzizeyo mu kyalo nnima and then after years nzize mu URA ongamba nti omanja simply because nafuna tin number ekyo kiva ku ki?
First of all, emotoka gigezeza ki?
Yagula personal car ye moto okozesa ki?
Watwala bipapula kugula motoka?
Yatwala sente definitely.
Sente wazijjawa?
Abadde alima mu kyalo.
Okay.
Mulimu.
Obadde olima mu kyalo. Kati okulima tekuliko misolo? Mpozi ng'ongamba ne bw'olima for home consumption. Otasasula musolo ng'olimira family yo nti mulya yammwe. Naye nga otunda, that is commercial. Tekuli misolo. Because they have tin numbers.
You know what happens to those farmers? Agenda n'alima kasooli, let's say nja kwa example ya kasooli. N'alima ennimiro ya kasooli. And then buyer najja before even that they harvest. Oshegera. There's a lot that happens abantu bye batamanyi. Ono omuntu gwotunuulira talina dduuka nti agenda kugenda harvesting kasooli we amutwale somewhere alinde ba customers. Waliwo situations ngezo nti omuntu agenda kutunda ebintu bye nga tebinaba na kutuuka ku harvestingibwa and then collecting sente ze ajja agula akamotoka. Yeah, so I want to understand. It's not just me or the other Ugandans that don't even know ntino niwemba sina duka because abantu ba believing and for me to pay taxes kubanga maybe I have a company or I have an address like when nkolera business yange. Yeah.
Okay, kanchinyonyele bwenti. URA batambudde mu byalo na bifo byanjawulo okusensitizing abantu. Fine waliwo abatamanyi naye nze ndowooza almost 80%. Bagezezzaako n'obbasomesa mu local language mu nnimi ze bategeera. Kati oŋŋambe mbuno otunze kasooli wo. Kati for example ebintu nga agriculture. URA doesn't simply want to take your money. They want to know you as a business person. In the first place, I always tell people, URA eringa partner. Kasito otandika business what? Bafuka your partners. In which way? In that, batwala ebitundu asatu 30% of your revenue. Which means, in Buno, there are 30% like shareholders who share profit.
Yeah.
We agree with that.
Yeah.
So, why they do that? It is because they are supposed to collect their taxes. Kati gwe olina reporting otya by filing your returns. Otunze kasooli, okozesa abakozi. Bano abakozi ne NSSF ekyogera kuva ku mukozi asooka n'oba olina omubwati. Alina okuba nga asasula pay as you earn ne NSSF. Kasita oba n'omukozi kitegeeza mbu mukola.
Yeah.
You're paying them and the law says olina okubajjako obutundutundu 5%. Nabo ne employer n'asasula 10% ne musasula NSSF. Ne pay mulina omusasula. So pay is supposed to match with NSSF. So bino ebintu bikwatagana wamu. Buli lw'osasula abakozi ng'osasudde pay nga tosasudde NSSF ne NSSF egenda kujja obudde bonna kubanga bakolagana, they are aligned. So ogambye nti omulimi avudde eri afunye sente ezigula emmotoka nga tazideclaring.
Because most people think nti nze okuba nga nsasula taxes nina okuba nga let's say nina address somewhere oba nina company nga bolabo tutudde wano this is my business nga ye kyalowooza nti nina okuba nga nina address eri somewhere like URA wegenda okuntuukirako. You understand chengezako?
I understand. Kale URA yagala people to have addresses. Naye kati oli waka otunda ngoye online. They will know. Because online or social media is one of the places they get information from. So they will know and attach a tin or forcefully register you and you start paying. Know your mulimi. And like I told you, we have a lot of tax holidays. Omuntu ali mu agriculture. Wabata natusa threshold ya 150 million. Aba exempted. Tebasobola na munono. Naye ofunye sente zigule mmotoka erimu n'ekintu then surviving then okola, they will definitely tax you in any way you may not know. Naye olaba information eno ina engeri gyeconnectingamu balina yo national ID oluusi toyina tini national ID kati bagenda bakuregisteringa ne bajjako baagana kujjako those ghost tins whereby somebody has 2 or more. So we want a national ID or call a business where you're above 18. They will definitely take a certain tax from you.
Okay.
But some of them, most of them are exempt. Ne page in Kugambako, 235,000 from 0 to 235,000. Or your Montasasula are exempted. Or Kujakongo Funyeke Singao. That is when you pay tax. Okay. So we have loopholes that can help us survive in this economy. But can we use them?
Okay, I want to start from where you said, like, or in an example, Gamba, maybe your dad, yasanga nga URM banja nagamba nti sente mbadde nganziwa accountant. Kati njagala tutunuulira omuntu ono asasula taxes zino. What are some of the mistakes they make?
Omuntu asasula omusolo. First of all, abantu abasasula omusolo tebamanyi misolo ki gyakuregisteringa. Kyekyo enva okuzaayo nga otandika business saawa ezo weetaaga misolo ki. Bw'otunuulira case eya Amos Nzei is own pep scholar.
Yeah.
Amos Nzei lwaki baamukwata idle oba bwe mba nkyogera lwaki baamu assessment ey'ennene. Yalina registering for some taxes. Naye nga agamba yate he's not into real estate business or into business of buying and selling land. Naye nga ate tiini ye egamba nedda olinako rental income and so on. So era ngenda kuzzaayo mu mateeka mbu ife the business owners ne bali ab'emisolo ffenna tulina obuzibu tebategeera bye bakola, neither do we. So all of us, omuntu atutereeza ye TAT, which is the Tax Appeals Tribunal. Intino wetugaana okunegotiatinga nga bayita TAT. Nga tuddeyo ku bitabo biri, those are the compendiums. Nga tulaba ddala compendium egamba kino. Kubanga ne bano ebintu ebifuna bubi. That is why that Nze was able to win the case. Because ekituufu omwami yali takola mu income good. Afunye ettaka lye abadde nali ebbanga ddene yali inheritinga. Kati gw'ogamba munne ataasasule omusolo ku ttaka lyasikira terina kyerireeta terikola business yonna. So these people also have that weakness. Simanyi na ngeri yakiyita. Fenna we are victims. Sometimes they don't know what they're doing. Sometimes also don't know what we
also don't know
but
what we are doing.
Shobola abantu no bw'otegendereza you're likely to double pay, triple pay. N'okusasula ne by'otategeera kyekituufu. In that bagenda kukuleetera assessment naye weewuunye zino zajja zitya. Kati business yange ntono eno. Kati amagoba g'olina okuba kati jjukira ffe mu magoba mw'ofuniramu n'ogamba kosasuleko renti, k'otwala abaana ku ssomero, k'okole kino. Naye kati aga amagoba omuntu omulala waagajjamu ate naye ayagala gatwala. Tobalaba omuntu atuuka n'awulira nga yeetamiddwa obulamu tabitegeera n'agamba waaye munsiba bamunsiba. Omuntu alina contract batuta emyezi 6 tebamusasula. Kyokka oli atudde emyezi 6 amufayirinzeeyo kati ate yo ekomyewo egamba akati wakoze omulimu tusasule. Akusasula eziriwa z'atalina. Kubanga n'oli amutaddeyo yo ate teyagala biwuliriza. So that is why I tell people we have a client CRM, client related manager. Is it client relationship manager? Chobola bangamba abantu yogera ne ono omuntu omugambe yes nakoze naye tebannasasula mpayo obudde bwe buti baleme kuwa interest oba penalty ezo because there's zigenda okuzza business ye mabega nga tokyakola olabula be business kutambula mu maaso olaba ffe bannayuganda n'ekirala omuntu obeera ne business for example like a spa tomanyi oba oli stagnant oba ogenda mu maaso oba odda mabega n'obeera mu business okumala emyaka 5 naye nga gwe tokimanyi ojja okola n'ogenda because you don't have those books, those numbers.
Rent, no sasula
also going now was mu bibyo no sasula yo ene gamba zino sentences no kwata sentences no ziteka ku business account yo ene zitwalira mu nazo za business mistakes by the together business nyingi nyo that we cannot even have this whole conversation in one sit. We have to go back to bitandikira ku proper bookkeeping. Kutandikira ddala nti ngenda kugulawo business. Nfunye amanya gange 3 ngatwala mu RSB ngenda londa mu lino erisinze. Nsasudde meka mitwala 3 mu bank oba 312. Eyo receipt ngiterese. These costs are supposed to be declared later on, but these are things we don't have. These are things we don't know. Bana Uganda business tujigwamu bugwi. Tetuyina muntu atu directing. Tetuyina in that nze ngenda kukopa kwoli mukwano gwange mbu yakoze bwati
nange kangende ne
we don't know what
ataba yangambye kikola
kyobola ba ogenda n'otuuka emyaka 5 mugamba ne business eno ndifunyemu kaki nawe weerowooza nga siva wenva because the numbers you are not able to get these numbers in play yet these numbers zina n'okugamba why tugezeeko ekirala eneegaanye because people start over and grow. Although say you are in a wrong business, Tomani. Then myaka 5, 6, 7. You are, I think that was last year, but one. They let it take her. More registering a negative. Emyaka 5. Bajja kwate bashakuliriza. Because twagala basasula Emisolo. Nango luso batokola. Kati osasule ki nawe kyotayina.
Ndisasuze ekyo Emisolo.
So business is so complicated that sometimes I feel like bana abantu they have to like reason with the everyday people. Mubawulirizeeko mubawako budde okusinga okwagala okutwala obutwazi mugaidinge naye ze mumanyi ababanja negwe oli mugamba tusoke tukole ayina millions 3 kyokka mu gundi oba abadde ayimportinga bintu
abadde akuwadde mukwano gwange yangamba atunda electronics yangamba nti tewali kinnumanga kubanga nsasula omusolo gwa millions 10 naye ng'oluguudo oluntwala ewange lwa ttaka.
Ebyo gavumenti byagana ogibuuza. Egamba mbu esooka kuhandolinga ebikulu ennyo naye obeerawo olaba abakulu bayitawo na mmotoka oba 15 zonna zirina onywa amafuta. Waliwo abantu abatono abo balina ssente buli omu z'atalina. Now it gives you understanding, but nobody wants to explain that. Some people have too much, others don't even have. So how do you explain that to an everyday person? That is why they ask. Nabo ne bagamba ne wae bitutamye. So eno side fenna twetaaga okwetereeza. For me.
Okay, so that means nti abantu balina okufilinga returns okwewala bino byonna ebizibu bya URA.
Totandikira kufilinga returns olina okutandikira ku having a proper bookkeeping, proper records. In that oli mu business ogenze mu meeting. For example, nzenzize, I drove my transport. For me this is like a business talk. I am going to get a payment voucher. I register my fuel. Omuntu okozesa airtime oyogera ku ya business oyise customer okola ki ezo sente ozibala otya. How do you account for bagamba mbuno luno lunaku wakola amasimu bwegati n'okuba amasimu mangi okweseza emitwalo 5. How do you account for it? You must have a payment voucher kubanga owa boda tagenda kuwa receipt mukwata receipt onkoze guno kati gwe weebala otya ozibala kubanga ezo sente za business olanga kalango oba olikuba masimu ba customer bajje. So you must have a payment voucher n'ogamba luno olunaku nasaasaanya naye ng'ebintu bikwatagana ne business nakubagana amasimu gaga business n'obiwandika wansi you claim them from the company.
Samson kye yatusomesaako ku tracking a business like track records like note down each and everything.
Yes. Yes, that's what you do if you're to win these people. Nekati bwebino byota registering, water having these documents and you file your returns, bagenda kuddamu batwale zino sente atenga already wasaasanya nako. So which is a double tax. Kubanga bo baina zikendeeza kubanga there were expenses to bring business in the company. So everything goes back to proper bookkeeping. Buli kimu kirina okutandikira ku documentation. Tudde mu filing ne bino ebirala. Tulina okutandikira wali.
Olina kyewakonyeeko n'ogamba nti ye URA teyagala kumanya oba gavumenti teyagala kumanya oba okola oba tokola kye baagala kimu kusasula misolo. But then tubeera ne changes in tax laws. How do these laws affect strategic tax compliance?
How the laws don't affect strategic compliance, but you use the law to strategically comply.
Yeah.
Meaning you want to do your best to retain your money. This is, by the way, business is a game. It is a game. Bw'otakitwala kigenda kutwala. Ne bw'oba nti URA ogibanja miliyoni 10, 2, 5 biliyoni nga tolina ngeri w'osobola kidifendinga wali oyo asigala capital wo owa business ate toli mufuna bajja zitwala. So that is why I'm talking about the law is what helps you to strategically comply through tax planning. Bwenga gwe tosobola kikola olina okugoberera gana amateeka kubanga mu mateeka mulimu loopholes nabo ze batamanyi oluusi. So you must be a person who find time oli mu certain industry gimanyeeko, research about it, have your records. Ekintu kyonna ekibeerawo obanga waliwo omusango gwe bagamba mbu bakubanja bakola ki genda kwonoonye mu either a certain section ogambe naye bino ebintu gye biri bye bambanja ye bambanja biriwa naye abasinga bakubanja odduka buddusi. You don't want to know. Oba n'ogamba waekamba sirika.
Kyekiri kye nakubuuziza nti strategic tax compliance etafaanagana na traditional tax because traditional tax nti abantu balinga balina okudduka. Yeegoba ne gavumenti, yeegoba n'abajja okucollectinga emisolo.
Anti kati awo right now an everyday person, an entrepreneur has no choice. You totally have no choice but to comply because you are at a loss. Ogenda fira buli kimu.
Yeah.
Bagenda kusiba abaana bo balekerani banaalya ki. Business we bagenda jigala we bakwata accounts zo. Oba oli akatekako ssente last let me give you something small. Last year nina client ali bakita bata okukyuka omumwa ne gondi disabled. He got paralyzed. This all came by nali nakamugamba mbuno wandibadde
like yali normal and then
yes in my office nga mulaba mutabani we yamukuba balina hardware yamukubira essimu n'amugamba bakatekako ssente. Imagine omuntu atutelo nga tabasasula lwabasasudde miliyoni zammwe 2 URA eziyodde. Olina aba suppliers abokusasula abakozi bamaze emyezi 6 tebasasulangako. Beetamidde ojjukira abakozi balina responsibilities zaabwe basibe bakubanja kati bazitaddeko bazitutte. Mutabani we yamukubira essimu n'amugamba ekyo. Omusajja yagamba kiki n'akakana mawo nenoonya abantu nekuba endulu ne bamutwala mu ddwaliro Kampala Hospital. Twagenda namukyalirako ndooza after 3 days ng'omumwa gutunula eno up to now bwatyo bwakyali like side emu oba yayonooneka. I don't even know how they call it. Yeah, yafuna stroke. Then we again lost another one that last financial year because of same things, taxes. He lost everything. Kyokka ne mukufa baagala twala nnyumba abaana gye balimu. Kati gwe ngamba, why aren't you compliant? Because these are simple things. By the way, compliance is as simple as ABC. Kwata bitabo byo buli kyokola record. Oba okozesa Excel, oba okozesa receipts, please record. Just count yourself. In that bali tebaku estimatingira baleme kubalira. Panga ne waba ne spa n'otasasula bagenda noonya omuntu omulala alina spa ng'eyiyo bakubalire ku byoli ate nga temulina ba customers be bamu temuyingiza kyekimu. So why don't you comply? It is as simple as that. And one time the president said, oba oli munene oyenkana wa, oba gwani, kasitole mo sasula emisolo. As long as you fail to comply, we will close you up. You have seen many businesses zigudde. You've heard of Tuskys, was it Tuskys? Supermarket.
Yeah.
You've heard of WBS. All these businesses, Misolo. By the way, there are many wakubanga abantu sagala menya abantu bamu banene, but twina businesses nene. Compliance has nothing to oba oli munene nyo your corporate oba ye small mwenna kibatwaliramu. But people who are on a more disadvantage. Bebano abatono because tebalina awareness eyo. Naye nga lwaki osooka kwagala bintu kubeera so bad then ojjukire ate okudduka ogende mu balooya bakuggyeko ssente ogende ewange nange nkuggyeko a lot of money because I'm following up on many things you're not doing right. Why do you wait for that? Simply comply, check with a taxman, get to know your tax position or immediate otya. As we are all human beings, people should not fear anybody. Never nabakolera you are ebakozi bukozi. Ate tebambala ngato za entrepreneur kumanya nti no tukola bwetuti because oyambala ngato za entrepreneur business owner or jamani you try to understand their reasoning like employees. So don't fear anybody. Go get to know your tax position, defend what you can defend, disagree what you will not agree, and so on. Mugende mutati or mugende mu ADR, you renegotiate and you fight for your business. Than simply keeping quiet. When you keep quiet, the worst will happen. Baja kukwata unaware and you will lose everything.
Okay. Bajukiza banaffe ba Dencorp International Limited nga bano ebateeka mu ssente okulaba nga tubaweereza bano bayambako gwena yeetaaze okuba ng'ogenda Bulaaya okusoma oba yeetaaga medical tourism banoonyeeko ku social media platforms zaabwe beba Dencorp International Limited oba osobola obbanoonyaako offices zaabwe ziri Mpala ku Entebbe Road. This time round nkyogedde bulungi I usually say Mpara. Okay, olunaku lwaleero tukoledde ku the beauty room nga bano bakugu mu kuyoyoota ensusu prima in case you want to do some waxing oba weetaaga body scrub bakugu nnyo mu ekyo bakolako
ndabala nga sinnagenda ndabe
aba the beauty room banoonyeeko bali just opposite ne Shell ebuziga oba ku MTK Plaza opposite ne Shell buziga waliwo ekizimbe ekiri awo oba obalaba they are very good bakwata bulungi balungi gwena yeetaaze okubeera omukyalo oyinza okubeerayo ng'oli eyo you want to do some V-waxing bayina ne steaming bayina body scrubs ennungi beba the beauty room balungi nnyo. Okay, tubadde tukyatunuulidde ku these tax laws ezijja zikyuka. What role does the government play in encouraging good tax behavior mu bantu? Apart from okujja ne bagamba, you mentioned nti babasomesa ennaku zino babagenda ne mu byalo ne babannyonnyola mu nnimi zaabwe ez'obuzaaliranwa ne babeera nga bategeera nti bannange emisolo gino gye giri. Are there other roles that does the government play?
Well, the government
oba yeetunuulidde kimu nti nkutaddeko tax primulate omusolo oguddewo business nze njagala kimu tax. There are no other roles apart from okulaba nti abantu like ebasomesa okulaba nti bapayinga taxes.
Government government olaba bw'oba oli mu manufacturing and you export. There are a lot of exemptions. Omuntu importing has more taxes, but if you're exporting, you're actually promoting Uganda as a country. So we have a lot of tax holidays, tax reliefs. We have a lot of benefits. By the way, bully business ina benefits. Just chiri kumuntu kunonya benefits chi. Only when you're compliant. Mwera compliant, by the way, birungi bingi byosobola okutuukako abantu kye batamanyi sikulimba osobola n'okugamba mbuno osabe exemption ne bakuwa exemption ya myaka 2 myaka 3 myaka 5
ebitamu binnyonnyola abantu bamanyi kimu nina kusasula musolo
kati omuntu ali mu manufacturing n'atandikawo business mu Uganda muno alikuwa bannayuganda mirimu lwaki tebamu exemption nga gwe tosasula misolo simply ofiringa nga tosasula so that bakuwa chance okuleeyo because Uganda ngensi eyagala nayo okukulaakulana so bano abantu abali mu manufacturing business they have exemptions, they have tax holidays whereby bakuwa emyaka 5 nga gwe sente zonna n'ez'emisolo zizo ozza mu nsawo yo for like 5 years bayinza n'okuwa 10 years abantu aba-exporting ebintu basasula close to no tax
ate abo baveeko tobogerako balina obusungu bungi
aba-exporting tebalina busungu kati ate aba-importing because kati you're importing you're importing meaning okulaakulanya bali ffe tetulina olinga gamba tulina kye tusobola kwekolerawe oleeta biri eri biri wabweru buli woleeta biri wabweru taxes are bit high era they will tax you according to the HS codes naye bw'oba nti gwafulumya ebintu mu Uganda you're promoting Uganda and there are a lot of exemptions tax reliefs in that area so tulinawo but are you compliant kye basooka okubuuza if you're compliant you will be able to get these fruits of being compliant.
So abantu banyiikira okusasula emisolo. Okay. What advice would you give to someone that is starting a small business? Okulaba nti yeewala ebizibu bwe biti. Ebyokuba nga alwanagana ne URA ate batuuke nti ate bamusaba sente nyingi z'atatege apart from filing like you talked about tracking records buli kimu beera nga okimanya
well nze ndooza omuntu wa bulijjo ayige waasobola okufuniramu ayige engeri gy'asobola okusasula omusolo gwennyini gw'alina okusasula nga tayongezzaamu nga tagenze mu bipenalties mu bi-interest oba n'okudabo payinga ab'emisolo in that olabe nga bizinesi yeekula era nga bwe nkugamba nze I cannot stress enough ekizibu gye kiva I cannot stress it enough imbuno omuntu wa bulijjo olina okumaintaininga proper books of accounts gye kiva gye kitandikira era gye tulina otutandika nga tusolvinga then just like you market your business just like lwomanya buli mwezi nina osasula rent lwolina okumanya mbuno buli mwezi nina osasula tax oba buli mwaka okusinziira engeri gy'okolamu kubanga ne small business omuntu atalina records bamutaxinga different no but presumptive taxpayers they tax you different from this one who has records so to survive to thrive know the law take advantage of it and play your game well because honestly anybody can make it
Okay, are there some businesses in Uganda like do you have some stories of businesses and like they are successful by implementing the strategic compliance approaches bulungi and what lessons can be learned from them?
Well, most people who have tried to strategically plan corporations ekyewuunyisa zino ennene eziyize nti nno omusolo kintu kisobola okukusula no matter who you are and no matter what level gy'oliko so nsobola okuwa nkwenga company kikati era nga bw'olaba these the MTNs bategedde how to play the tax game in that communicatinga ne companies zaabwe eziri wabweru w'eggwanga of course MTN eri muno but also in other areas and then they move money within money plays within so they have mastered the tax game and that is why they're going to make crazy profits. Ate nga nze nkubulira ekintu kasita kiba nga okikola mu mateeka legally n'ab'emisolo banoonya engeri w'okufunzira ne bibalema. There are people who have been threatened, and because of the strategy they have used. Omanyi mutuula ne mufumba obwongo n'ogamba naye business eno loopholes ziriwo basobola okunkwatira, and then the way you manage that risk is how you earlier plan for it. So bagenda okujja okukola audits zaabwe nga gwe wayitawo dda
nga naye wabeetegeke
ogamba hey please be my guest nga ne bwe balaba ekintu nti kino bakikoze mu bukyamu naye ng'etteeka ligamba si kikyamu. Trust me, oba osinze. So there are these big corporations I can give you. Hima Cement, there is MTN here, MTN Uganda. There are really so many. There's some NGOs, but there are some people who have played the game. And I've also seen some SMEs. So never get it. Yeah. I'm not sure, but some people have tried to do their best to play the game. Those who know what non-compliance can do to you, or those who have tested the waters. Nga ye bamumazeko emirembe kati amanyi ekyokukola lwakubanga yasooka kuyita mu mbeera embi ne bano abantu abamu babasiba abamu ne bavaayo. I have one who was put on a police board bamujja nawaka mu baana be ne bamutwala myezi gigenda mu 8 myaka akyali mukomera tebamwana chance kulaba looya we. Ebyo bwe babyamangu tebiringa bano ba corruption gundi ababbye ne babaleka case neeraawo bo we bakukwata police bond webafuna evidence gye baagala bakutwalirawo koti neetuulirawo, which they don't do to other people who are corrupt. Omuntu aba corrupt n'olaba omusango nga gugenda mwaka ku mwaka myaka 10 nga koti tetuulanga naye ku by'emisolo sente zaabwe. Some people have been there and who have been arrested. Ngabo bagamba, we are innocent. And actually me, I'm trying to support such people. So know your obligations, know your rights, because honestly, if you don't know your rights, never tax officers even they manipulate you. Yeah. Kastabaga ono gwetukola nayo ono they say stop it again, they will manipulate you so that they hit their targets. So know your rights, know your obligations, know the law, you'll be fine.
Okay, Prem, ngatumaliriza. How do you see the landscape of strategic compliance evolving in Uganda, and what opportunities and challenges do businesses need to be aware in the coming years?
I don't see anything good as yet. People are still very ignorant. Nze nkule bambuza n'ebibuuzo ne ngamba ono aluba mu Uganda oba. People are still ate nno abayinamu bangi nnyo balina mu kyalo bangi balina ssente bakoze ssente naye nga tebategeera na kyobagamba tebamanyi bya misolo. So nze ndaba olugendo luwanvu era okwesika emiguwa kuki. It is still a very long way. Rates that we need to favoring abantu ba bulijjo.
Yes.
Honestly. Then market ye kola gundi. Ye demand we usanga teka ko prices izo naye market ina prices zimanyidde olinokolera ku za market jolimu. Yeah. Ate ekyo kintu nakyogerako nga dynamic capabilities versus resource based capabilities. Nti nno oyina abakozi oyina ssente n'ate kyokola market si kyeyagala. Oli wano olwerowoozeza n'ogamba naye wano waliwo need wano waliwo ekyetaagisa okukolawo n'okikola ogenda okiyiiya mu ffumbiro ogambe nti oyiiya okirete mu market ogenda otuuka mu market nga market yakyusa dda nga byolesa tekyabyagala waliwo eyaleese ebirala ebisinga ebibyo. Oluusi ofunye looni nnene ofunye abantu bakwatyeko mukolema
obireese yala ebikutte ku kisaawe
ebikutte so yinza abantu babikwatidde ebbanga kati ojjukira obudde abasiramu ebaasiiba sharia ezo ze abamu baleeta sharia zaalina okukola obwo obudde kati balina zisalira mu yidde. kati oluusi market kyoyagala ogenze osomye market ekugambye olaba abantu beetaaga kino oza okifumbye ogenda okizzayo nga bantu bakyakyetaaga and you're at a great loss bank ekubanja bokolesezza nabo oluusi wabasuubiza mbu tukole njabbawaako shares oba kigenda kutambula mangu mufunemu byonna ne bifa so dynamics nyingi tukyali awo in that the world is so complicated in that business eri uncertain tomanyi kyosuubira nkya tomanyi kyosuubira oluddako you live by the day so it is very stressful ate ng'olina n'abemisolo
nabo bakutwala
so mufo kyokwetegeera bakuteekako stress eyo bweti so that is my final word it is kwebereramu kumanya kyolina okukola mu butuufu bwakyo butatya muntu yenna because you want to leave a brand, you want to leave a legacy, you want people to know you, you want to have these branches, over like 20 of them and even get out of Uganda. And yet to do all that, you need to identify abantu boyina okukola nabo okukisitula osanga omuntu ng'alina erinnya eyo bwatyo alina gundi bweti nga just bw'omutuukirira omugambo waayo tukwatagane wano tukole gundi nekikulema we have this ego right nti njabyemalira but in the world you cannot grow alone we grow nga tufunyeyo atukwateko
kubannaffe Prim njagala abalabi ba Unchat oba buli ewawe bayinza okusanga how they can get you probably osobola ne contact we basobola okureachinga out to you because there are so many people out there abayina businesses tebamanyi bintu bino like you said abamu tulina ego nogamba nja byemalira mwaka gwe gunaggwako nga nja kubisasula guli omwaka tomanyi kikyokuza tomanyi na business yo wawo ogitadde so bwe tosanga nga tulina abantu nga mmwe abavaayo okulaba nti basomesa abantu bategeere ebintu bino babeere on even the safe side businesses I was protecting in one way or the other so kijja kuba kirungi nnyo nga abantu bategeere wawe bayinza okusanga how they can get to communicate with you.
Okay, I'm a partner at Aplex and Associates. We are located at Cham Tower, level 2, office suite 10, or room 10. Then the telephone number Bwosobola tufunako is 0787 226 112. I repeat, 0787 226 112.
Thank you for coming.
Yes,
we hope to have you again. People need to have such conversations. Okay, that was Prim. Tumiseze ebintu bingi nnyo ku strategic tax compliance. Gwe nali eyo teekateeka okuba ng'okola business oba alina business eno video ejja kuba nnungi nnyo because mulimu bingi nnyo bye weetaaga okuba ng'oyiga oba ng'otegeera. One of the things kyensinza okutegeeramu nti track your business, keep records, oleme okuba ng'ofuna entalo oba n'okwegoba ne URA nkambwe ennaku zino basiba n'okusiba si birungi so okwewala ebizibu track your business, keep records osobole okuba nga obulamu bukutambulira bulungi gwena ali eyo nga ogulawo business oba ng'olina business yo naye ng'emisolo gikutawaanya you will need her ajja kuba nga akuyambako tulagiridde office zaabwe we ziri n'ennamba y'essimu agibawadde so mbeere nga mumwekwata tujja kuba nga tumuzza oba n'okuleeta abantu ab'enjawulo balina obumanyirivu mu bintu ebimu babeere nga babayambako okuba nga mutegeera oba obulamu nga bubanguyira ku nsonga ezimu because tugezaako okuleeta abantu bwe bati because we need to create awareness abantu baffe beetaaga okuba nga bategeera ebintu ebimu a lot of people don't even know what is going on bantu babeereyo nga tamanyi nti alina okusasula emisolo these are some of the things that you need to know so mbasaba video mugirabe mugikanye ate mugitegeere ky'oba totegedde, please write it down in the comment section. Tujja kuba nga tukuyambako kitegeera. Here we have like the unpopular opinions back to conversations. It is the unpopular chat. Ngenda kuba nze nno ndi ku beauty room, at the beauty room Buziga, era wetwogerera essaawa zino ngenda muka scrub. Baba scrubbinga bulungi nnyo. They do very good waxing. I think these people here, they have wax wa butaluma. I had a problem some years ago nga sisobola kukola wax n'atanuma, like mala days nga wax anuma, sometimes ofuna ebintu ku mubiri. Naye bano bakugu mu ekyo, nawe osobola okujja ne bakuyoyoota. Bali ku MTK Plaza, just opposite ne Shell Buziga. Mpozi mbajjukiza ne bannaffe ba Dencop International Limited, nga bano batuteekamu ssente okulaba nga tubaweereza. Bakubireko oba obanoonyeeko ku social media platforms zaabwe, be ba Dencop International Limited. Osobola n'obanoonyaako ku offices zaabwe, be ba Dencop International Limited. Until next time, bye-bye.